gunshot residue or GSR can remain on the shooter's hand, clothes, or on the victim's body. GSR is mostly made of metals, most commonly lead. Using necrophagus insects can help determine the metal and the type of gun, not physically, but its characteristics. Now I'm going to talk about a case I found, but it also was experiment of a case uh, from Reginald versus Stephen Truscott. So on June 1959, 14-year-old Stephen Truscott was seen giving his 12-year-old classmate Lynn Harper a ride riding his bike. Truscott was the last person seen with Harper. Later that evening, Harper's father reported her missing. 2 days later, she was found on a woodlot, and she was apparently been raped and murdered. On June 13th, a couple days later, Truscott was charged with her murder. So this is the experiment. On June 17, 2006, a recreation experiment was conducted in the same look where Lynn Harper's body was been discovered almost 15 years prior. The experiment timing was chose at sunset and whether it was close to the original scene. At 1900 on June 9th, 1959, the temperature was 28 Celsius, whereas was 32 during the recreation experiment in 2006. Three 23 kilogram pigs were killed by electrocution to minimize blood loss. Invisible wounds and placed in the woodlot less than an hour after death. The pigs were placed at 19:30 hours, 19 minutes, 19 hours, 30 minutes late and at least 15 millimeters apart from each other. Each pig had small wounds with blood created with a knife on the shoulder and a small amount of blood placed on the buttocks and vaginal area, replicating Lance Harper's wound. The presence of the body fluid influenced the olfactory orientation of insects. So it was important that the portion of recreation can be conducted. Each pig was observed from time and place until dark. With sunset at 21:45 hours, flight reposition activity commenced within 30 minutes of placement and continues until sunset, at which point the flies left. Large masses of eggs were laid at the nose and mouth of each pig before sunset. But no eggs were laid in the buttocks vaginal area. In addition, California were observed and photographed entering the pig's mouth and nose and laid its eggs. No eggs were laid after sunset prior to sunrise. The experiment concluded there was no likelihood that Humber body was been laid uncolonized by flies prior to sunset under those environmental conditions. If her body was there between 1915 and 1945 hours in the evening. But because of this, on August 28, 2007, his conviction was overturned, declared a wrongful conviction, sending a miscarriage of justice. My second case. The Butler case. On December 29, 2017, a motion was set by the Clark County District Attorney Office, Honorable Chief Judge Elizabeth Gonzalez, dismissed all charges against Christine Blaze Lobato and ordered her to release from prison. A couple of days before December 19, 2007, District Court Judge Stephanie Milley reversed Lobato's murder conviction. During a 5-day hearing, the court has found that Lobato's defense attorney violated her constitutional right to effective legal representation by failing to call a pathology and entomology expert regarding the victim's time of death, named Drain Bailey. Christine Blaze Lobato was just 18 years old when she was charged with a brutal murder of Drain Bailey in a homeless man in Las Vegas. She was tried twice for the crime but always maintained her innocence. Bailey's body was found around 10 p.m. on July 8th next to a dumpster in the parking lot of a bank building. He was brutalized, his eyes were swollen shut, his skull cracked, and some of his teeth had been knocked out. His skull was cracked and some of his teeth had been knocked out. His carotid artery was cut and his penis has been removed. Lobato has served 16 years in prison despite the compelling evidence of her innocence. A month or two before, in Las Vegas, trying to visit a friend, Lobato was attacked in a motel parking lot by a man whose attempt to rape her. She was carrying a small knife that was given by her father for her protection. She slashed the man's groin area and escaped. When she made her escape, she saw the man crying. She's been telling this story to numerous people after it happened. 2 weeks after the murder of Bailey, detectives received a phone call from a Panaca residence where Loboto grew up and still currently live. That Loboto told her that she cut off a man's penis in Las Vegas. Detectives went on a 3-hour drive to Loboto's household where they were aware of her recent attack, but officers made a false belief that the homeless was attacked by her and had died. Only was the same, and Loboto was arrested for the murder of Bailey. At trial, the prosecution relied primarily on Bilba's statement, which is the court was characterized as her confession. With no physical or forensic evidence, Lobotok was convicted of first-degree murder and sexual penetration of a dead body without any physical evidence to show. The first issue was to forensic pathologists. They originally stated that the death had occurred right before the body was found. Lobato's alibi helped prove her innocence. However, the pathologist changed his mind and stated the murder happened 12 hours before the body was found, breaking Lobato's alibi. During the trial, once again, he changed his mind up to 24 hours. Lastly, after the 2002 trial, she was tried in 2006 again. The pathologist said that the murder happened in 14 hours. This time, Loboto was found guilty of voluntary manslaughter and sexual penetration of the dead body. Because she was guilty of sexual penetration, it resulted in Loboto's registration of a sex offender for the rest of her life. 2018, Loboto's walked free from the prison due to the help of forensic entomology. What's interesting to me about this case was there's no presence of insects, but the exit of them. In this case, the conditions were perfect for the insect to start colonization right after death. However, there was not a single insect when it was found, which means the body was found after sunset on the night it was found. And with Loboto's strong alibi, she was proven innocent. Now for the future. This is basically my rant, and I'm going to talk about the limitations of forensics. While reading the articles for this presentation, the limitations of using entomological evidence is that there are many factors that can affect PMI. For example, drugs have a significant effect on estimation of PMI. The seasons can have a massive impact of estimation of PMI. Of course, in the summer and in its rainy months decay at a much faster rate than in the spring and winter months. During the winter months, depending in the area, if it's heavy snow, and it's no ants will be affected in the body. Not only does the season affect the decomposition of the cores, but affects the succession of the insects. Warmer months speed it up, while cooler months slow it down. Plus, the location of the body may affect the PMI as well. The body may have been moved or disturbed, which can affect the PMI. From what I've discussed in my presentation, I believe forensic entomology is a useful method to determine PMI, but it isn't the best method. A pathologist can determine PMI, however, using both forensic entomology and forensic pathology is the best way to go because in the Loboto case, the pathologist kept changing his mind, which causes Loboto conviction. If there was an entomologist in the first place, there wouldn't be a trial. Even though there weren't insects, no, even though there weren't insects, the knowledge we have about insects when it comes to PMI prove a person's innocence, which is the most important part. And when it comes to the second case I was talking about, with the Truscott case, forensic technology can be used to reopen old cases to overturn false convictions, which is why I was talking about it. What I found interesting in Truscott experiment is that when they were able to replicate close to the perfect murder scene, even though it was hard to replicate the same condition for 50 years, the fact they were able to do it with some pig carcasses and able to prove a man's innocence for 50 years later shows a lot how forensic entomology improved in a short amount of time. Thank you.